All right, it is now time for raising funds for World Domination, day number 144. Orthoplex 64, how's it going? All right, so on the Renoviction front, there's no new developments here in that. I guess we're exactly 3 weeks out from the next hearing. And in relation to getting the next release of the terminal block mining game out, that is 100% out. It was released September 10th. And the next video was published yesterday. In terms of views, it's not getting as many as I'd hoped, but I guess that's just how it rolls sometimes. I don't know, maybe it'll pick up in the long run. I mean, the How to Make a CPU one, that one got 15 million, and it took 2 years for it to pop off. So we'll see. I can probably recycle. Actually, someone commented about you should do like an extended version of it, and I might do like a much lower effort, just like a kind of off the cuff review of it. Which I wouldn't be surprised if that would make more money than the original video itself. All right. So for next steps, I did make a community post referencing it today. I haven't done much on LinkedIn. I filed my HST return today. That's one less administrative thing to do. And back to increasing daily revenue. Oh man, I'm gonna sneeze. So I did a community post today. Maybe I will try to get back into the habit of doing that, because it does seem to prop the traffic up a bit. I guess as we go into the winter months, hopefully traffic will go up again. It seems I've seen more and more videos about saying that everyone's views on YouTube are down. Although a lot of them have said that the revenue is about the same. But in my case, my revenue is also down. Oh yes, and so look into setting up Shopify selling on YouTube. So I looked into that today. Actually, that was a majority of what I spent my time on in the last 24 hours. I set up a Shopify account and spent basically all of today wrestling with trying to get it connected and stuff. And of course, nothing is simple. You have to it's really annoying how things work. I wanted to just set up a Shopify account with a simple product, so I can get those little, advertisements that show up under videos. So the way it works is you set up your Shopify product, and then you have to connect it with YouTube. And of course, when I go to click connect and whatever, it'll come up and be like server error and stuff. But then it would go through. So I guess what it, I think the way it works, I still haven't figured this all out. Shopify, when you connect YouTube with Shopify, it'll automatically create a Google Merchant Center account, which is another Google branded product. So it's something outside of Shopify and YouTube, and I think that's where YouTube pulls the actual listings from. So when that first got created, it failed. it failed to create the merchant account, but I didn't realize that. So I had to like go off and then manually create the merchant account and then like connect it and stuff. And try to like propagate the products, because Merchant Center pulls products from Shopify. So when you update them in Shopify, they're supposed to sync, but of course there's delays and stuff, and it has to go through go through review processes and stuff. But then I found out that there's a whole different setup process in Google Merchant Center, and there's a totally different shipping policies and totally different terms of service. So I was thinking about making the actual product item be like a digital product, which is just like adding a feature to the game. And Shopify's terms of service allows you to sell digital products, but Google Merchant Center does not, apparently, as far as I've researched. And then I think YouTube does not say anything at all. So I think what the implication there is that if you put a product, if you try to list something, a digital product on YouTube, Shopify will let you do it. But then when Shopify tries to sync it into Google Merchant Center, it'll get banned from Merchant Center, and then YouTube won't be able to pull it. So that will be an issue. I have to be careful about all that stuff, because from my experience, anytime you're doing like account selling stuff or advertising or working with any of these like merchant accounts or payment processors and stuff, you have to be super careful, because if you have the slightest sign of any sketchy behavior, or even if you're just a new user, they'll just randomly ban you sometimes for no reason, and then you're stuck in like, then you'll get into like some shadow ban thing where they don't show your products, or or you'll get banned more frequently in the future. How many billions you got already for the port in the Arctic? I think from the this series, I think we're at around 2,500 or so. Actually, in the last few weeks, I think I actually don't even remember the last day there was a super chat. There was some day, it was mid-August. That's when all the YouTube revenue went down, views went down, and also it's not as many super chats. Which you would think it's kind of random, but I guess maybe it's weird, because you would expect that like super chats are initiated by human beings. So why would the algorithm control that? Like if it was human activity, I mean it lends more to the theory that the internet is just bots. But I don't know, maybe there's YouTube is just directing the people who do super chats some results. I'm starting to get stuffed up. So yeah, that was everything I thought about for the past day. Was how to set up products in Shopify and resolve issues. I learned that if you set up there's some special exception for South Korea. South Korea mandates that you have to specify the currency of your products in the South Korean currency, and there's all kinds of there was some other issue I had, small issue I had with if you say that you'll ship to all countries, if you don't have the currency set right, or you don't have this specific parameter, then you'll get some warning about like 50 in 50 countries you can't ship this thing, but that only shows up in the Google Merchant Center, not in Shopify. So yeah, I set up one item for the implementing the hematite block type, which actually I guess is I looked it up just before earlier today because so hematite is Fe2O3, and I thought I already had that block type, and I do. It's just the iron oxide block type, but there's actually two different cast numbers for the exact same chemical formula, which I didn't know that was a thing, but I guess they specify that hematite is specifically the mineral ore, and the Fe2O3 is like produced in a lab or something. But for now, I'll continue to just specify the block types according to. I'll count the uniqueness. If they have a unique cast number, I'll count them as unique. But yeah, I set up that that item just as a test item. I didn't do like any kind of configuration with the store or whatever. I figured I might as well set this up and go through the process just to learn like how it works before I try too hard, because now I'm actually thinking about that digital product selling restriction, so I may have to rehash what the actual product offering is, because if I try to sell digital products and that is actually not allowed on YouTube via the Merchant Center, then they'll totally ban the account, and then I won't be able to sell anything. So I'm gonna try to not get banned. I actually do have some leftover things to sell from my Kickstarter campaigns. I have like a few $100 worth of inventory. I have the listings up in my the store.robertelder.org, but that gets like no traffic. But I don't know, maybe it will increase the conversion rates enough to be actually worthwhile on YouTube. I figured that makes more sense. I figure if I want to build a real business, that's what I want to do anyway. It makes more sense to, instead of focusing on sponsors and stuff, actually sell my own products. So yeah. And a few people have asked about buying sets of those prints. I actually have if someone wants to buy them, you can buy them right now on my store.robertelder.org, but nobody can find it. But if I had those as an item, I had to reach you the video. It's a nice, easily clickable thing. I may have to raise the price though, because stuff is crazy expensive now. To ship anything, it's like $10, and actually even the sheets of paper. One of those sheets of 8.5 by 11 paper is like almost $2 now, because they're like a super expensive archival paper. Oh, I did no work at all on cleaning my apartment. So today's test was successful. I wasn't sure if I'd even be able to run through the process of actually creating an item. But that was educational, and I think it was up for like a few hours, and I actually did sell. I just put it as like $1, so the person that bought that gets a sponsored block type for cheap. And then I guess tomorrow maybe I'll actually put a little bit more work into that. There's some other stuff I can just do to make it. For now, I just left it on like the most simple default store with no styling or whatever. And in business, I think it makes a lot of sense to just put the least amount of work into stuff. And then if the return you get from it is bigger than you expect, you can invest more time into it. And then if you don't get the return, if you don't get any return, like if it took like months to sell, then it would be worth abandoning completely. But we'll continue the experiment tomorrow. Today the revenue from the store was $1. So tomorrow we'll try to make $2 in revenue. And then the day after that, we'll try to make $4 in revenue. And then we'll try to make $8 in revenue. And then soon I'll be at $1,048,576 in revenue. So the person who bought the item today from my store they want hematite. Did you see Gen Z burn down Parliament and overthrow the government in Nepal? Yeah, I did. Yeah, the burning down of Parliament, I thought that happened like a week ago, didn't it? I mean, it's an interesting sounding story. I think that kind of that headline, Gen Z burned down Parliament, overthrew the government. That almost sounds too simplified. My hunch is that there's probably I think that's a young person's fantasy, is to, if the young people rise up and take over. But most likely there's probably some other nation states that are involved behind the scenes. I mean, if it is the kids involved, it will be interesting to see if they can maintain power. That's the easy part. Is getting to sit in the chair, but keeping power. It's going to be hard. First ever Discord elections. Yeah, I saw that headline as well. Right, and the dedication was hope I'm not getting sick. It is that time of year. Can you make CPUs in game? You cannot, but that's actually a good. That would be a kind of good basis to form things around about like industrial manufacturing and stuff. I think maybe it makes sense more to I think actually making them is maybe a bit like to really do it justice is maybe too much. It could maybe start off the like to keep the immersion and realisticness, I think it would make sense to start off as like you're role playing like an actual mining company, and you produce like you produce concentrates, and like one of the people you interact with is maybe someone who themselves makes CPUs. So you give them like a silicon concentrate or something, or copper. Played Factorio? I have not. I know of it, but never played it. Soon I'm gonna end up with the. Oh man, getting really stuffed up. I guess if I keep adding new block types, I'm gonna have a lot of them soon. I'm gonna have to add like something more intelligent, with like classes or like I don't know, something to better organize them, so I don't have to update all these manual lists. I updated my chunk initializer to make it a bit more generic, so I don't have to like squeeze. I don't have to like manually update the range a bit, because I was just subtracting like 0.05 from the range, which that's not. I can only do that so many times until it until I go down to 0. Honestly, there's a lot I could do to improve this. Even just to update the terrain to make a bit more sense. I think it could also make sense to, if I keep along the, like start maintaining a database of like the densities of these materials, and then make it so that basically the noise function effectively gives you a density value for that region, and then there's a probabilistic. It's like a weighted probabilistic function where, given the density at that area, you have a higher probability of a more dense material there. So that would make the terrain look quite a bit different. So I guess even in like random areas, there would be some of the special blocks like spread kind of more randomly throughout the map, which is kind of more realistic. Should make clips for shorts from my lives, like the guy that was always saying that worked for Blizzard. Yeah, I should do a lot of stuff. The number one thing I'm focusing on at the moment is I need to get revenue up, and I mean, I think this my views already kind of peaked once. I was like, I had maybe like 1.5 million views, and in the last 30 days, it's down to like 500,000. But the thing is, like I've proven that I can get the traffic, but I need to capture the value from it. And I think the next thing that makes sense is maybe try to expand out the store. I'll try to ramp things up with the store. Today I successfully set up the online store, and I made $1. So tomorrow my goal is going to be to make $2, and then the day after that, I'm trying to make $4, and we'll see where things go. Because if I get, it's one thing to just get views, but then if I get a lot of views and that doesn't, I don't actually make money from it. It's not, it's like a wasted opportunity. Where can I find the store? So I had one item with a quantity of 1, and actually it would have appeared, like you've probably seen products on YouTube before, it would have appeared right underneath of this video as a product, but someone bought the one quantity of 1 product that I had. So I have to, I archived it. I have to go make sure I go back and reread the terms of service on their like digital products thing, because I don't want to get banned from, I believe if I get banned from the Google Merchant Center, then I won't be able to post anything. So I'm gonna have to, I was actually just researching that a bit more just before I came on. But tomorrow I will add, or even maybe tonight, I will add some other products. Yeah, I could probably, I actually have, from one of my last Kickstarters, I have maybe like 100 packs of those regular expression stickers. So I could probably put those up there. Those should qualify as a valid item. But I would like to, I think it would make sense to, there are other kinds of like random programming adjacent things I could sell. But I'll maybe try to focus things around this terminal-based game. So if I can just make this better and more interesting, then it can kind of compound. And I should check the help menu to see if that item appeared. All right, there we go. There's hematite. It looks the same as iron oxide. Oh, nice. I'm amazing. Thank you very much. Thank you to Curry for the $20. That's the first super chat I've got, or first, I guess that's a super sticker. That's the first super sticker I've got in I think a couple weeks now. Nice. All right, let's make sure I can actually pick up, if I can actually find hematite in the environment. Can't find any ore veins. There we go. Oh, there's my hematite. And I guess we're now getting to the point where there's enough distinct items that they start to fall off the end of the map. When it's going to get a battle pass and microtransactions, it'll take a while before I get to that point. I guess that would actually be the ultimate feature, if I could eventually just integrate this door. Yeah, I guess that's possible. That would be possible. If it had like a payment processor built into the game. Yeah, eventually once it's developed enough, it's possible. I can have a open custom frame, and then right in here there'll be a thing to like open payment processor, and you can pay money immediately. All right, that works. So I've honored my commitment to the block type dedication. Joke aside, it being on Steam for $1 would pay back the 100 in a few weeks. Man, I don't know. My nose wasn't running earlier today. It's just as soon as I came on, it started running. Yeah, I've never used Steam, and I don't know anything about it. But I guess the more I learn about other people that build games and stuff, it seems like it's like the place where people post their stuff. So I guess it could be it's not something I'm going to build around now. I think the primary thing of value is like the marketing and all that other kind of stuff. If I can succeed in that realm, then maybe going on Steam would just give it an additional boost. Because I think that's the main barrier that most people face when they make any kind of game. They put it on Steam, and they get $200 in revenue, and then it just drops to zero, and that's about it. Game Dev Chad says cheers. How's it going? yeah, so I guess tonight I'll continue research on the store. I think it makes sense to get that all figured out, and there's a bunch of I guess on Shopify, if you want like certain other features, you have to download these like third-party apps and stuff, which is kind of annoying. Oh yeah, and also Shopify is actually pretty expensive. It's like $40 a month or something for the most cheap possible plan. So if I end up using it, it'll have to justify itself. I'd have to get like about $100 worth of sales a month in order for it to even justify its existence. Do you make the prints on demand at a local shop? No, actually, I have. I actually have the prints. The prints that I have here, I actually have. I bought a fairly expensive art printer, and I have the super expensive ink, and the super expensive ink and the paper and the paper profiles and stuff. So I can print all that stuff. Yeah, I think that could actually be pretty profitable if I did the volumes. I actually bought it as kind of a test for doing. I did a Kickstarter. So I actually I did a couple Kickstarters where I just like bought some print-on-demand stickers in like some high volume, and then just basically resold them just to see like are the unit economics profitable? And it was like it was at a point where if I had the sales, like if I had infinite sales, it would be extremely profitable and lucrative. But the problem is just generating the sales. And then I also decided to experiment with printing stuff, just because in that way I could make the margins even higher if I could actually print it locally. So then I did a Kickstarter project with I had to like figure out how to connect it to what I was doing. So I said it'll be like a guide of like color printing on Linux, which is, there's not many people doing stuff about that, but I figured if there's a niche audience for that, then maybe I can squeak out just a bit of revenue and build a small business model on that. And I think it was the day after I launched that Kickstarter campaign that Vladimir Putin decided to invade Ukraine, and that was where for like 2 or 3 days the world was like kind of in disbelief, and we saw these videos of like missiles blowing up stuff and helicopters shooting missiles and stuff. So I think that kind of took the momentum out of that campaign. It also wasn't. It was up for quite a while, and it didn't. It only got like a couple sales. So far the art printer has not really paid for itself. But if I can get the sales, then it could be like if I could sell several thousand prints or something. Because it actually does end up being quite time consuming to print stuff. If I had like a system, like if I had if I knew every week I had to print like 100 prints or something, then I could maybe make a routine out of it and kind of streamline the process. But the way it is for just like one-off prints, like if I made one sale per month, it would be not even worth doing, because if I let the printer sit for a while, the ink nozzles all clog up. So I have to do a printed test pattern to see if the nozzles are clogged, and then if they're clogged, I have to like run a cleaning cycle, and then that wastes a bunch of ink. and it takes like 5 minutes. And then I'll check it, and they're still clogged, so I gotta redo that, and then that wastes more ink. And there's like 50 little operations that it does where it just wastes ink all the time, which is very expensive. So it becomes like, if you're doing high volumes, it becomes dramatically more efficient to use it. What the heck actually caught your live today? I guess you were here a few times, I don't know, a week ago or so. I guess I haven't been streaming as long lately because I finished all of my outstanding items. Finished the next release of the block mining game. And then finished the next video. Since you have the printer, maybe you could also offer some kind of printing service. Yeah, I could do that. I mean, I would actually do that as like a value add or something. But it's all about stuff that can actually generate sales. Because if it to do a couple, it's almost a waste of time to like. So I gotta go like dig the paper out of the drawer and print, do a nozzle check, and then clear the print nozzles. And this printer, I mean, it does very good prints, but it has, I think it has there's 11 different printer cartridges. Like, it's already a nightmare with, if you have a color printer, standard cheap three color printer, you're always out of ink and spending lots of money on it. This has 11 cartridges, so there's almost always at least one cartridge that's out of ink all the time. And every single time I print, it has this stupid thing. It'll come up and be like, hey, ink is kind of low in this thing. Do you want to replace it? And then I have to click no, because what they want me to do is, like, there's still ink in it. It can print. Because if I keep clicking just print, it'll go ahead and print just fine. And then eventually, once it gets actually low, it'll come up with like a red icon. See, like, this is actually empty. You have to replace it. But because they want me to buy more ink, yeah, there's like 11 cartridges, and I think a full set of inks was like $660, and it's probably gone up by now. Mono laser printers, using same toner coverage for 12 years. Anything color, I get printed at the shop. Yeah, the if you're printing black and white, I definitely laser printers, brother printers are quite good. Actually, I've both. I have a brother laser printer here. It's like a $200 printer that I use for if I print like just regular text and stuff, but and for color. And it's also possible to get color laser printers, but the difference is the color gamut, like the like mathematical range of colors that you are able to print is lower. So it's, if you want to the highest quality, if your goal is to print in color and have impressive look, you basically have to go with inkjet. In order to install applications on Linux, Do you use a terminal or download like a file? To install applications on Linux. Normally, I just use. So normally you just do like sudo, or like, so for example, vim. Vim is a text editor. That's usually what you do. Sudo apt-get install. Or I think actually, sometimes you'll. I guess now you people just use apt. I don't know exactly what the difference is between the two, but that's the standard way. There's also like a built-in. You can like show applications. It depends on the distribution of Linux too. So I'm on Ubuntu. So apt or using apt or apt-get will work for the package manager on this. But for other distributions, you'd have to do sudo yum install for Fedora, or sudo, I think it's pacman for Arch. My printer told me 10 years ago the cartridge is empty. Covered the sensor with a blank. Nice. It's still printing. Wow. Yep. That just shows it's all a big scam. Mine is brother, very reliable. Yeah, mine is I have had to I guess the other thing is that people may not realize is you have to replace for laser printers. There's the toner is a consumable, but also the drum. The drum. I think I've actually gone through a couple of drums in mine. If you start noticing that it's like it'll be like echoing stuff, so you print something and then on the next page it's kind of like echoing the text again. That's probably because the drum needs to be replaced. And for this one, I can go on eBay and get replacement drums pretty cheap. Is it possible to run codes that hack your computer on a terminal? That is possible. I won't tell you how because it's a secret. I was listening to Canadian radio station, Windsor Alternative. They played an ad for food basics. What's your opinion on that grocery store? I think they have pretty reasonable prices. There was one kind of near where I was. I went to it a few times, but I haven't been to a food basics in a while. Is it possible to run codes that get you a girlfriend? I can't see why not. Yeah, it's all about identifying everyone's individual interests. There's a command for everyone out there. As a woman, I can confirm we are attracted by code. Yep. That's proof right there. Yeah, so there's no specific content planned for tonight or tomorrow night. I'll probably, I guess I'll stream until 11. Then I'll call it a night. Then I will continue to work on researching the store. And I will set my goal, my revenue goal for tomorrow will be to get $2 in revenue from the store. And then I should probably, I guess I'll probably continue to stream less, or I'll end the streams earlier because for the hearing on the 6th, I have to get up early. I mean, as a result of staying up late, I also go to bed super late and I end up sleeping in. I'll have to be up at 8. This store is I've been working on so I need to get revenue up, so I set up a Shopify store yesterday just to test out the feature, so I can have products underneath of like you've probably seen products people sell on YouTube. I want to start doing the same thing. And originally I was thinking if I could like sell sell block types in the game, sponsored block types, but so that it's I set up the Shopify store today, and of course it was an annoying process. It was all like buggy, and then I learned there's like 3 different things. There's Shopify, and then there's Google Merchant Center, and then there's the YouTube platform. Now, Shopify allows selling of digital products, but Google Merchant Center does not. I don't think I have to research this. And YouTube themselves don't have any explicit policy on it. But when I list the mechanics of it is, I put products in Shopify, and then they sync them to Google Merchant Center. So I have to make sure that whatever I make as a product does not get banned for like violating their terms. Because from my experience, and anytime you work with like payment processors or these kinds of like setting up merchant accounts and stuff like that, you gotta make sure you don't get into they're like a flag like a low quality store type bucket, because then they'll just like constantly get banned for everything. That's one of the main reasons I gave up trying to like use Facebook ads, is because they just constantly ban you all the time for no reason. They set up a shop for selling stuff on Facebook. So I was like, oh, I'll try this out and see if it's see how well it works. And I tried to sell my regular expression stickers, and just like instantly banned. They're like, this product does not comply with our terms. We don't think it's a good fit for this platform. It's literally just some stickers. Shopify takes a pretty big cut. I think it's only like a few percent. Google's taking 30%. But I think it's also the biggest thing. I'm actually not even super concerned about the percentage. It's more about like decreasing friction for the customer. So if it's easy, if the conversion rate is high, and if the customers feel comfortable purchasing, then that's like the most important thing. So if they take like a 30% commission or something, that's fine if I can get the sales. Stratamish says, hey, Robert. Facebook is a shithole anyway. Yeah, Facebook seems... Actually, I deleted my Facebook account, like my actual personal Facebook account, back in like 2014. So I've been... Wow, it's 11 years now that I've been out of the Facebook environment. I have zero. I have no idea what it's like now. I've talked to other people and they say it's like they don't see anything from other humans now. It's like all just AI and like weird AI videos. I have a Facebook page for the business, and sometimes I've I posted a few videos in there, and then sometimes I get into like there's the Facebook video section, and it's always like just the stupidest. It's like some surveillance video of like a bunch of people sleeping in a room, and there's like a ghost there and someone circling something, and it's just like total brain rot. Brain rot is the new meta to get rich quick. Yeah, it really is. Actually, I've seen more and more instances of stuff where I see it and I'm like, wow, that's a crazy video. And then I literally don't know that it's AI. And then there's something else, like I see someone else say it's AI, or I see like one in the same series and I'm like, okay, that's close enough to AI. I'm pretty sure the previous one was AI. But then I go back, when I look at it, I literally do not know that it's AI. It was some like Korean channel that was recommended to me of it was like it was a video of a bird like defending itself against a snake was coming by and like trying to attack the bird, and it was a kind of crazy video of the bird fighting back against the snake, and I 100% thought it was real. And then even after I saw other videos on the channel that are obviously AI, like going back and looking at them, there's no specific thing I can point to say it's AI. So it'll be an interesting future ahead. But with that, I'll probably call it a night. Leave it there. So we'll be back tomorrow night for day 145. All right, have a good night.